The following is an EHC media production.
The Black Box, Tears or Cheers. It's an urban science fiction novel written by Costello. Yeah, man. A 2-mile-wide alien spaceship speeds towards Florida, showing bad intentions. Stark terror visits the world of a young hip-hop urban rapper, Little Bubba Riley, who comes into possession of the Black Box. Smorshka Grevelenko, Russia's ruthless covert agent, brutally murders Bubba's older brother, mercilessly stalks Little Bubba, and Peaky Grayson, his schoolteacher, determined to get the Black Box from them. After a fierce firestorm of conflagrations, confrontations, and escalations, an unrecorded triangle morphs into a magical love story. Little Bubba finds himself yoked to the president of the U.S., who sends him and the Black Box into space towards a final life-and-death struggle with the alien ship to save the world from an eternity of nothingness. It's a new millennium year, 2014, and the scene is Los Angeles. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy of the Black Box. Oh, and don't forget, man, later next year, we're almost at the end of the year, next year, the book-on-tape version of the Black Box is coming to you. It'll be available for purchase, and of course it's narrated by yours truly, Emir Blackbane Costello.
Predictions.
I genuinely believe this might be Jason Jordan's big time to shine. You know, here's a month, kids. Let's see how you do.
I'm trying to tell you, if AJ Styles hits that phenomenal forearm, Kevin Owens will get pinned.
Reactions.
And by the way, why does John Cena have to shake the guy's hand every time he loses? And why didn't Roman Reigns turn it down?
They did such a good job of building up Braun Strowman. I believed in him as a monster. And then one F5 took him down. One F5.
RWT presents Ring Psychology.
Good morning, RWT family members. My name is Emir Blackbane Costello, and I'd like to welcome you to a Clash of Champions edition of Ring Psychology. Now, this show is going to be a little bit different today because the reality of the situation is I, much like Moses Marquez, am a guy who works 2 jobs. And in addition to that, I'm in my master's program and I'm doing stuff on the page and all kinds of crap everywhere. I have not had a chance to watch Raw or SmackDown live in several weeks. I don't even know what's the last WWE programming that I actually sat down and watched. I don't know, man. I can't tell you. I don't know what's going on with Clash of Champions. I don't even know what the matches are. So instead of me trying to fumble through some sort of predictions, I decided to, reach out to a couple of my buddies who have been keeping up with things and see where their head is at with everything. We're just going to check in with a few people today. First of all, why don't we check in with Mike Ebeza?
Hello, Emir. I don't know what you're planning on doing with this footage I'm about to record, this audio. However, you have requested that I give you my predictions for the upcoming Clash of Champions show, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to quickly get them up on my phone. Probably should have done this before I started, but you know me, always prepared. So, as usual, what I normally do is work bottom to top. I'm not sure if it's confirmed for the pre-show, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the pre-show. Zack Ryder versus Mojo Rawley. Mojo's going to win. What's the point in turning him heel to then not give him the momentum coming out of at least the first match in the feud? I don't know how many matches these guys are necessarily going to have, but I think the whole point is whoever you turn out of a tag team usually gets the immediate momentum. So I think Mojo's going to win. That's all I need to say about that. I really don't care all that much. Up next, Bludgeon Brothers versus Breezango. Again, another reasonably easy prediction, I would say, in my opinion. Bludgeon Brothers, again, what's the point in debuting this new gimmick and so quickly killing it? to put it bluntly, you know, like what's the point? Especially not to Breezango. Breezango can eat losses. They're going to stay popular. It doesn't really matter at this stage whether Breezango win or lose matches. They're going to be over with the fans anyway. Okay, up next, the United States Championship triple threat match. Baron Corbin, Bobby Roode, and Dolph Ziggler. I can tell you who I think is going to get pinned. Dolph Ziggler. In terms of who's going to win, it's kind of a bit of a toss-up at the moment. I'm going to say Baron Corbin. I'm going to go with the classic heel finish where, like, maybe Bobby Roode hits the glorious DDT on Ziggler, and then Corbin comes in, throws him out or into the ring post, or nails him from behind and then pins Ziggler. I'm going to say something like that's probably going to happen. So I'm going to go with Baron Corbin to retain for the time being. Up next, Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, with two special guest referees, so lots of shenanigans. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. Everyone seems to be predicting a Daniel Bryan heel turn. This feels like the swerve of the night. I always say there's going to be a swerve for the sake of a swerve. I don't feel like Daniel Bryan's going to help them. I can't decide whether I feel like Orton's... The potential swerves are Orton turning on Shinsuke, Shane, for some reason, which would be unfathomable, easy for me to say, to me, after all their history, but they could do it just because they love a swerve for the sake of a swerve, don't they? We could even potentially see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn lose, obviously not getting sacked and released for reals, but, you know, people are sort of speculating maybe this could see the return of El Generico, and I think Kevin Owens on the Indies wrestled under a Generico-style mask at one point, so maybe Owens and Zayn do lose. I don't know. I'm going to side with Owens and Zayn winning with some kind of swerve. My money, if anything, is on Randy Orton turning. He's stated several times he really wants to be a heel. He's really bored as a face. Surely he must be saying it backstage and pecking Vince McMahon's head and saying, look, you know, how much money have I made you over the years? Can you not just turn me heel? Like, that'd be great. So, yeah, that's my most likely scenario. I think Owens and Zayn are winning this. I feel like adding the stipulation has kind of telegraphed that, which is why I feel like there is a chance they could lose. But I don't know. I'm not sure. They might do some sort of angle where they get fired and they keep showing up unannounced, you know, and ruining people's lives. I'm gonna go with an Orton heel turn though, and a KO and Sami Zayn win. First one I've not been entirely sure about though. I'm not sure about the triple threat either, to be fair, but I'm fairly confident in my prediction. This one I could see me being wrong, and it's still working. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Match. The Usos, The New Day, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, and Rusev and Aiden English. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I think Rusev and Aiden English need to win this, and are going to win this. And the reason is the fact that they've made it a Fatal 4-Way. And I feel like this is a way of moving the titles from heel team to heel team without having a heel versus heel match, if you get me. So I feel like if they were going to pass the titles back to New Day or pass them on to Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, they'd just have a 2-on-2 tag match, a traditional tag match. So I could be completely wrong. You know, they could just be doing this for the spectacle because, you know, it's obviously going to be spectacular. There's going to be a lot of high spots and really close false finishes and all that good stuff. But I'm going to go with Rusev and Aiden English. Plus, you know, everyone knows it's going to be Rusev Day, right? So Rusev has to win. Rusev wins if it's Rusev Day. Right, final two matches. The first one, the Lumberjill match, as I've christened it. The Lumberjack match with all the ladies, so it has to be Lumberjills, doesn't it? Charlotte versus Natalia. I mean, I've picked all heels so far, I've just realised, which could play into my decision. Also, Charlotte's only just really won the title. Has she defended it? I don't know if she's defended it on the SmackDown. Obviously, she didn't defend it on the first pay-per-view after she won it, because that was Survivor Series, where she was facing Alexa Bliss in a champion versus champion match. I think Charlotte's got to retain here. One, because some faces need to win some matches. Maybe that could convince me that maybe Orton and Shinsuke are going to win. But I'm not going to change my prediction. Whatever. There have been heel-heavy nights before in WWE history, so it could happen again. But I'm going to go with Charlotte here because it's quite logical from both points of view of some faces need to win, and also she's only just got the title and not really defended it all that much, if at all. And final match, main event. AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. Same sort of reasoning, just won the title, faces need to win. I feel like AJ is going to retain. I feel like AJ is going into WrestleMania as the champion now. I think the Jinder experiment may not have completely run its course, but it has at least until next WWE year, which obviously starts the Raw after WrestleMania and runs to WrestleMania. Like that's what I consider the WWE year, if you like, is the Raw after Mania till the next year's Mania. That's a year in WWE. So I feel like for this year, quote unquote year, Jinder's done. Like, I don't think he's going to win the title again. I'm not sure if he ever will, but I'm pretty sure he won't in the foreseeable future. So, rerun over my predictions. I'm going to go with Mojo Rawley, Bludgeon Brothers, Baron Corbin, Owens and Zayn, Rusev and English, Charlotte, and AJ Styles. That only took me like 7 minutes. Clearly, when we go back and forth, Emir, you holding me back, man. You add that extra 53 minutes onto the predictions. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my predictions. Hope I got more right than Emir. And I'll speak to you when I get to speak to you.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that, man. And you're right. I probably do take up the other 53 minutes, but that's the problem when you're an extrovert, you know? I like to talk. I like to talk, my man. But ladies and gentlemen, Mike Ebeza checking in. We appreciate that. And we're going to keep the ball rolling with another one of my buddies. He's the host of Hell on the Podcast, which had a great first episode come out a little bit ago. And he promises the second episode is on the way. Let's check in with Daniel Crimmins and see what he's got for Clash of Champions.
So, my predictions for the upcoming Clash of Champions pay-per-view, network special, whatever you want to call it this weekend. Okay, looking at it here, I wasn't even sure all the matches, so I had to go to Wikipedia. I'm sorry. Zack Ryder versus Mojo Rawley, which is the pre-show match. I gotta go with Mojo. You know, I like what they're doing with him. I like this edginess, you know, the whole I don't get hype, I stay hype thing. It played its course. Not initially who I would have chosen to turn, but it's whatever. And I think it works. I would expect a decent match out of the two. I'm going with Mojo for the win. Now we have Breezango versus the Bludgeon Brothers, which I would imagine is probably going to be the opening match. I don't know, it could be a filler. What I expect to see happen and what I think will happen, I think the Bludgeon Brothers are just going to squash Breezango. You know, it's sad that, you know, these guys are in the match together. The reason I say that, Breezango's got so much talent together as a team. I would have loved to have seen them get a tag title run, but it's whatever. Bludgeon Brothers for the win. It's going to be a real short match. Not much else to happen there. Let's see. Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin in a triple threat for the U.S. title. I'm guaranteeing a title change here. I think Bobby Roode is the obvious choice. He's a good choice, but I'd like to see Ziggler take it. I think it would give SmackDown a level of unpredictability. You know, I think everyone's expecting Roode to win it or Corbin to retain. I don't know. I gotta go with Ziggler on this. I think he adds in some. He's got the veteran factor. Plus, I think he'd keep him around for a bit. So I'm going with my man Ziggler here. I'm going to go next with the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title match for the SmackDown Tag Titles. The Usos defending against The New Day versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus Rusev and Aiden English. Now, I'm not going to make any bones about it. I'm a Rusev guy. I've been a fan of his for quite a while. I think he could be used a lot better. But again, it is what it is. I could see them leaving it on the Usos. You know, they've been white hot this year. Absolutely white hot. They've really reinvented themselves. Now, if that title changes, I don't know. I could see Benjamin and Gable taking it, but I think you really want to, go on the momentum. You go with Rusev and Aiden English. Who would have thought these two guys would work as a tag team, but they have. They're entertaining. It's a good mix. It's a good team. Good team. So, smart money is on Benjamin and Gable if there's a title change. Who do I want to see win? Rusev and Aiden English. I'm a big fan of both men. Yeah. But I think ultimately, I think the Usos are going to retain. I think they're going to hold on to those titles for quite a while. So that's that one. Women's title match, Lumberjack. Actually, I guess it should be a Lumberjill match. Who do I think is going to walk out of this match as the SmackDown Women's Champion? I don't think it matters who wins the match, because I think Carmella's walking out of the show as the SmackDown Women's Champion. Consider those my words on that. Now the match itself, I think it's going to be a good match, as those two always put on a good match. I think Charlotte retains. And like I said, I think she retains, Carmella cashes in, and the next feud's going to be Charlotte Flair versus Carmella. Next match, we have the Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match. It's not going to be a clean win either way, because, both Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan are the special guest referees. Stipulation being if Owens and Zayn lose, they're fired from WWE. We all know it's not going to happen. I would expect a Daniel Bryan heel turn, setting up for an eventual stable between Zayn, Owens, and Daniel Bryan. Who knows, maybe you could even bring up a couple guys, a guy or two from NXT, another Ring of Honor guy. I expect some great mic work out of Daniel Bryan. I think ultimately this is going to lead to him getting cleared. He if you listen to him, he's saying that the WWE wants him to get cleared. It's kind of Dr. Maroon's call. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. Last but certainly not least, AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Jinder Mahal. A lot of people thinking AJ is going to win this. I don't see it. I want AJ to win. I think you keep AJ going until Mania, and you have him eventually drop the title at Mania to the Royal Rumble winner, who I think is going to be Shinsuke Nakamura. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think somehow Jinder Mahal wins the match and regains the WWE Championship. This time, he will hold it on till Mania. Although I don't think, if he wins, I don't think Nakamura is winning the Rumble. I'm going to say if Jinder Mahal wins the WWE title, he will hold it on to WrestleMania, where he will drop it to the Royal Rumble winner, who will be John Cena. Those are my predictions for the pay-per-view or network special. That's what's going to happen.
So there you have it, guys. A super confident Daniel Crimmins. All that was missing from the end of that was Vince McMahon. I guarantee. So we'll see if Daniel was right. And Daniel, we appreciate you dropping by to give us your predictions for Clash of Champions. But moving right along, I got another friend to bring in, man. And he is the host of two shows on our page. One is called the Major League Show, and that's all about New Japan and keeping you guys informed of what's going on overseas, especially the up-and-coming Alpha versus Omega match at Wrestle Kingdom 12? Wrestle Kingdom 12, is it? Jericho's going to fight Kenny Omega, and the gentleman who's going to keep all that stuff covered for you, including Smack Talk, which he does every Tuesday for your listening pleasure. Let's check in with Moses Marquez and hear who he thinks is going to come out a winner at Clash of Champions.
What's going on, my RWT family? This is your host of the Major League Show and Smack Talk, Moses Marquez, and I've been so gracefully asked by Mr. Emir Costello, and I want to say Brian Green as well, to give my predictions for this weekend's Clash of Champions. For those who are unaware, WWE does have a little bit of a network special. I'm not going to call it a pay-per-view, a network special this Sunday, Clash of Champions. And quickly going to go through the card here, give you my winner and all that little bit of fun stuff. So we're going to start off in the pre-show, and I don't know why, but Mojo Rawlings versus Zack Ryder. There's been like no real build to this. I mean, he turned on him, and then Mojo has legit said nothing since. So I'm not super excited for this match, but if WWE is smart, Mojo will legit kill Zack Ryder and God, fucking garbage truck. Sorry. Mojo's gonna kill Zack. I got Mojo. Going on to the next match, you got the Bludgeon Brothers taking on Breezango. I just got the Bludgeon Brothers, okay? This is like a match they threw together. This is like that random match that they have as a breather match in between like the main event and like a title match. And you guys know exactly which match I'm talking about. This is it. It's just, I guess a little bit more popular than that kind of match. Anyway, I got the Bludgeon Brothers. There's no real build. I got the Bludgeon Brothers. There's no reason for them not to kill Breezango. Anyway, then we got the tag team title match, Fatal 4-Way. Usos taking on Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin, The New Day, and Rusev Aiden English. It's like pretty good build up to it. Rusev Aiden, who got picked up 2, I guess, good wins in the last week or so. So I see them losing. I actually see them taking the fall, unfortunately. But I say that this Sunday we will have new tag team champions, and I'm riding the hype train that is Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. So hopefully I'm right on that one. But if not, I think that's probably going to be the match of the night. Then we're going to hit the U.S. title match. In triple threat, Baron Corbin defending against Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler. I think Ziggler is in this to be a spot monkey, which, he pretty much is already. And then possibly, if Bobby Roode can shine, this would be the best time for it to happen. I'm not holding my breath, though. And I got Baron Corbin picking up the victory and retaining his U.S. Championship. I don't see his momentum slowing down. We got Charlotte Flair and Natalya in a Lumberjill match. It's not a lumberjack, they're girls. It's fucking a Lumberjill match. I mean, it's a rematch. I think it's going to be an okay match. I think it's going to be a lot of interference and screwiness. It's going to kind of feel like a Minoru Suzuki New Japan match. I got Charlotte retaining. I don't see her dropping the title for any reason anytime soon, unless it's to somebody like Ruby Riott. Or maybe back to Naomi. Naomi's pretty popular right now. Maybe Naomi. I don't know. I don't see her losing it anytime soon, though. So then we're going to hit the WWE Championship match where AJ Styles is taking on Jinder Mahal in his rematch with the Singh brothers at ringside, mind you. They say they're not going to interfere, but at the same time, they were joking. So I see AJ retaining, and actually, you know what? I say Jinder wins. via disqualification, and still your champion is going to be AJ Styles. I think this is going to go for a little longer. I'm taking Jinder. I'm standing by that. I'm taking Jinder. And I'm taking, like I said, I'm taking Jinder as a DQ. So AJ is going to lose over something stupid. And yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Jinder. All right. Final, the match I think we've all kind of been waiting for. It's a little bit of the only real match worth watching. And that's going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, with the stipulation is if Owens and Zayn lose, they are fired from all of WWE. And we have two special guest referees, one by Mr. Shane O'Mac, and the other, the leader of the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan. I don't see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn losing this match. I legit think maybe Shane, it's going to probably be a very similar thing. Shane is going to take a bump, and Daniels is going to try to count or something like that. I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a pretty much a repeat of what we got on Tuesday, which was the ref took a bump, Daniel went in there and was the ref for the rest of the match. Either that or he's going to come up with like one of those like dumb wrestling, oh, well, his foot's under the rope so the pin doesn't count, or, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think he's going to do something like that where I think he's going to get a little bit of heat in this, is what I'm getting at. I think he's going to get a little bit of heat and kind of show a heelish side to some, and to some he's doing the right thing, but he looks like a dick doing it because it's something stupid. You know what I mean? So I do see Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens winning, staying on SmackDown Live, and then I later see something where they fire Daniel to bring in somebody else, and somehow, some way, Kevin Owens gets moved. So I think Daniel is going to get heat from this. If they're smart, Daniel's going to get heat from this. Do something with him before he really does leave, and leave you guys absolutely high and dry. So, to recap really quickly, my picks are Mojo Rawlings, the Bludgeon Brothers, the new tag team champions, Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable, Baron Corbin retaining his title, Charlotte Flair retaining her title, Jinder winning via disqualification, remaining and still retaining the WWE Championship, AJ Styles, and I see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn winning. Alright guys, that's it for me. Hopefully I'm right. And I have a funny feeling I am. Why? Because I watch SmackDown on a regular. And if you want to hear my recap, every week I come at you with an episode of Smack Talk. We'll see you guys.
Moses Marquez, ladies and gentlemen. And, Moses is right. When I invited him to the conversation, there were some things I hadn't considered. Like the fact that he has home field freaking advantage in this little predictions game because he is the expert on SmackDown Live. But, with that being said, Mr. Moses Marquez, perhaps there are no excuses if you don't get a bunch of these right. So the pressure's on you, my man. The pressure is on you. But we've had a great show so far. I definitely appreciate everybody who's dropped by to check in. And I got one more for you. And this gentleman is the host of WinXT. And just like everybody who's come before him, he gives of his time freely, in spite of the fact that he has tons of things going on, in his life. And I appreciate him and everybody else. But let's check in real quick with Mr. Brian Green and find out who he thinks walks out a winner at Clash of Champions.
Hello, RWT family. This is Brian Green, your host of 1XT, here to give you my Clash of Champions predictions. Clash of Champions is a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view coming to you live on the WWE Network this Sunday. We have every championship on the line from SmackDown, so let's get right into it here. I'm going to tell you what I think is going to go down. So I'm going to start with the pre-show. We have Mojo Rawley against Zack Ryder. My prediction for this match, I believe that Mojo Rawley is going to take the victory here. They've been building towards this split for the past several months, and the only thing that we got in response to it happening was Mojo maybe saying, 4 or 5 sentences backstage, and Zack Ryder has had no sort of rebuttal in this feud. So I think that it would be, a bit of a cold ice storm on Mojo Rawley if they gave him a loss here. So I think Mojo's going to take the victory, keep the heat and the feud going, and we'll see where it goes from here. Hopefully they get some more TV time to actually make a worthwhile feud from these two. Next match, let's get into the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. We have the New Day going up against the champions, the Uso, against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, against the latest added team of Rusev and Aiden English. And Aiden English and Rusev have been on fire as a team. I love their act. I love the two of them together. They're hot. They have 2 victories back-to-back on the last 2 SmackDown episodes, which tells me they may not win the championships at Clash of Champions. I think the best move here would be to keep it on the Usos. The Usos are very hot. They're in, the midst of a tweener phase, not quite babyface, not quite heel. But whatever they're doing as far as matches, as far as promos, everything they're doing right now is working. And I think with the Bludgeon Brothers coming in, maybe the Authors of Pain moving up eventually, I think that the Usos keeping those titles, you can have them play any role against any team that opposes them. So I think that's the best bet. As much as I'd love to see Rusev have the most glorious Rusev Day winning a tag team championship, I don't think it's going to happen. So moving on here, we have Breezango against the Bludgeon Brothers, and I think that the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win this match. We saw on SmackDown that they joined the Fashion Files segment in the middle, which tells me that they're not going to give much TV time to the Fashion Files anymore. And the law of diminishing return has taken effect here with the Fashion Files. I think that the WWE company itself, they're getting a little tired of the vignettes. Myself as a fan, I'm getting a little tired of the vignettes. These guys are wrestlers. Let's see them wrestle every once in a while. Let's get them in the rankings for a tag team championship match so they can actually be taken seriously. And I think that this is just another match to showcase the Bludgeon Brothers. Hopefully it is a lengthy match compared to what we've seen the Bludgeon Brothers do on television. And I'm very happy to see Luke and Eric Rowan back on TV. I'm a big fan of Luke Harper. And I think that he is very, very underrated and is deserving of a lot more. So hopefully he gets a lot more, starting with a victory here. Moving on to the United States Championship match, we have Bobby Roode against Baron Corbin against Dolph Ziggler. And it was very apparent to me that Bobby Roode was going to get an opportunity just through the natural build. I think Baron Corbin, gave him a sucker punch during a lumberjack match on SmackDown, and that kind of planted the seeds for the feud. Ziggler getting added was sort of out of nowhere, but him being added to the match is not a bad thing at all. Him being skilled on the microphone, he was able to deliver, some meaningful promos, and that's the Dolph Ziggler syndrome that we've been seeing the past several months. Him giving a passionate, fired up promo and then just not delivering in the match. But in the match, he will deliver as far as his in-ring performance goes, but I don't think he's going to deliver another U.S. championship reign here. It's going to be a great match. I can't wait. I think this might be a sleeper match. It might actually be really, really good. Just like the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match, I think those two matches have the potential to steal the show. This pay-per-view overall seems like one of those shows where the matches don't really seem like they're that hot. But when you actually watch the show, they produce a great series of matches, and that's what I'm expecting here from SmackDown. What match do we have next? We have the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte against Natalya with the Lumberjacks. The women's division is going to be surrounding the ring, and I think this is the perfect opportunity for Charlotte to retain her championship and have Carmella just kind of slide in the ring after, the pinfall or submission has been decided. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for Carmella to cash in. Why not? James Ellsworth is gone. Charlotte is a great, great superstar. She does not need a championship to give her superstar power behind her name, because she is already a superstar. So Carmella could very much benefit from holding that championship, and she could very much benefit from taking that championship on a big stage like Clash of Champions. It's not the Royal Rumble. If they are worried about Carmella not connecting with the fans or it not being a big moment, it's not a big pay-per-view, so they can be safeguarded and knowing that they're not ruining such a risk, ruining such, a cash-in on a big stage if they are worried about it not connecting with the audience. So I think that Clash of Champions is a perfect spotlight for this to happen in this Women's Championship match. Speaking of championships, we have the WWE Championship with Jinder Mahal against AJ Styles. I think the best bet here would have AJ retain the championship. I believe that's what's going to happen. Jinder Mahal, he's had this great build over the last several months. I feel like they were building towards the India tour, and they had Triple H go ahead and beat Jinder. What the heck? So I feel that is a sign that this Jinder Mahal experiment is over. I feel that he would have been in a better positioning if he was in the rankings for the U.S. Championship. The modern-day Maharaja gimmick, the people of India, how he was clamoring for, prestige. How great would it have been for him to hold the United States Championship as a representative of India and just boast about being a better American than the rest of us here who do not have the championship. So I feel that there's a better spot for Jinder. It's not in the main event picture. It's not with the WWE Championship. And hopefully AJ retains and we get something that the fans actually are a little bit more interested in, like a AJ versus Shinsuke match at WrestleMania. I don't know if the WWE Championship or this next match will be the main event, but I'm going to talk about this match last since it's had the most build. We have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going up against Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton, with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon serving as guest referees. This match, I feel we will see a Shane McMahon heel turn. I don't feel that Shane McMahon will side with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but I feel that Shane McMahon will do everything in his power to screw Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn out of winning this match. And Daniel Bryan is going to do whatever he does necessary to call the match down the middle. And if Shane McMahon takes a bump to where he's outside and incapacitated for a long time, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, get the upper hand on Orton or Nakamura, and they do get them down for a pinfall, Daniel Bryan's going to count it. And I feel that is where the dispute is going to come. That's where Shane McMahon will get in Daniel Bryan's face and, start to heel out on him. And we haven't seen a heel authority figure on SmackDown in a very long time, so I feel that having Shane or Bryan go heel would be a nice, interesting dynamic to bring onto SmackDown Live. So Owens and Zayn get the victory. Shane's going to go heel because he wants them out of that company, and that's not going to happen. So there you go. I believe I've touched on all the matches. I don't think I've missed any. Let me take a second here to think. I think that does it. So thanks for listening here. Those are my predictions. Let's see how close I get. I think I bombed as far as predictions went for Survivor Series and the NXT show that came before it. So hopefully I did a little better. I will catch you guys around for an episode of 1XT later on next week. Enjoy Clash of Champions and enjoy life. This has been your host of 1XT, Brian Green. I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.
Thank you, Brian Green. We appreciate you, the fearless host of 1XT. And not only do we appreciate you, Brian, but we appreciate Moses Marquez, the host of the Major League Show and Smack Talk. And we appreciate Daniel Crimmins, the host of Hell in a Podcast. And we appreciate Mike Ebeza, the co-host of Ring Psychology, and perhaps the brains of the operation, if you will. Thank you guys for donating your time. I know I call upon you to do a lot of things on the page, and you guys always answer that call. I appreciate it. So everybody that's out there, hope you guys enjoyed the show. That's all we have for you today. I personally have no predictions other than the fact that some people will love it and some people will hate it, which is true of every WWE Network special. Seems to be the popular term we're going with now. But you guys, as everybody else has said, enjoy Clash of Champions. Comment in the underneath this post with your predictions. I want to see what everybody else is talking about, and then we'll go back and have a reaction show, more than likely, if we can get ourselves together. I don't know who will be on it. I'll figure it out, and we'll explore who got the most predictions right. All right. So thank you, audience, for giving me your time, giving me your ears this morning, and I'll catch you guys down the road.